Hey guys, it's Ash. Today I'm going to be taking you through a 9-minute self-release or stretch that might feel nice to do after a long day of sitting. I've got my stray cat friend joining me on the mat today, and you can do these seated on a mat or in a chair. Starting just by checking out our range of motion, looking right and left, looking down and up, and just taking note of any areas or movements that feel a bit more restricted for you today. From here, we're going to take a pincer grip on our trap on that right hand side, holding tight and then lengthening that muscle underneath that grip. Just doing a little myofascial release, a bit of self massage here. And then we're going to start to add in rotation, turning nose down towards the shoulder. Gentle pressure through the fingers. Just starting to get a bit of length and blood flow into that first side. Same thing on that second side, finding that grip. First working through our side stretch. And adding in our rotation again. Just noticing if one side feels tighter than the other. Good, our cat friend is back to join us. From here, we're going to find a front of the neck stretch. So starting on this right side, I want you to find your collarbone and press in firmly through that muscle just underneath your collarbone before we drop our ear back. Same on that second side, just under the collarbone, and then dropping that ear back and looking slightly up as we drop over that right shoulder. Good, coming back to that first side, lengthening out the front of the neck here. Really important to release the front of our neck, especially if we spend a lot of time looking forwards or if we're guilty of looking down at our phones for prolonged periods. We get quite tight through the front. Continuing to release that SCM muscle, we'll find a nice grip. So dropping your head slightly to the side, you'll feel that muscle pop out and then just gently squeezing, rubbing, pressing in on that muscle. Just gentle pressure here. Same on the other side. Same way you might squeeze someone's shoulders from behind if you wanted to give them a little bit of a shoulder massage. And then we're going to start to release our jaw. So I just use my middle and ring finger here, drawing gentle circles, going backwards. Gentle pressure, quite tight here. It's nice to just separate those teeth to relax that muscle a bit more as well. From here, we'll interlace the hands behind the head, breathing in, opening up those elbows. Breathing out, elbows come in and down towards our thighs. Breathing in, open up. Exhale, round through the upper back. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, rounding. From here, we're going to take some snow angels. So let's make sure our ribs don't flare out on this one. Elbows back. And we're sliding hands up and down. Imagine you're laying on your back in the snow, keeping your elbows and backs of your hands in contact with that snow underneath you. Good. Think about squeezing shoulder blades together at the bottom here. And try not to let your shoulders creep up to your ears at the top of this movement. Here we're going to find our eagle stretch, wrapping that left arm under the right. Backs of the hands come together or palms can touch, and then working through that rounding of the spine again. Finding our breath, inhale as we lift up, same as before. Exhale to round forwards. Other side, we're going to wrap right arm underneath left, back of the hands together, or palms touching if you can reach. Breathing in, elbows lift. Breathing out, rounding forwards. Nice. From here, finding our side stretch. You might reach down the side of your chair, or if you're on the mat, reaching for the floor. Same on this second side, maybe you rest that hand on the seat. Lengthening out the rib cage up under that armpit. We're creating as much length as possible from that hip bone all the way to the pinky finger. Just finding our shoulder rolls going backwards here. coming forwards. So I'm going to come to my hands and knees. You're welcome to stand and just rest your hands either on the seat of the chair or on the back of the chair and press firmly either into the floor or that chair to round up angry cat, and then drop your tummy down towards the ground. Angry cat, maybe we round chin to chest and then lifting the gaze forwards and up. 2 more times. Scoop up, press heavy through your hands, whatever surface you're pressing on. And again, scooping up and pressing forwards. Good. Now we're going to stabilize through the lower tummy and just work through those shoulder blades. So again, we're squeezing shoulder blades together, keeping firm weight through the hands. And then we push that surface away, let the shoulder blades stretch apart from each other. So we want to create space between our spine and the inside edge of that shoulder blade behind the body. From here, we're finding that rotation, one hand behind the head, twisting up to the sky and rotating that elbow down towards that surface you're pressing against. Good. Second side here, hand behind the head, rotate open, rounding elbow down. Just taking notice if one side feels a bit stiffer than the other. Maybe that mouse shoulder, it's a bit more restricted. Good. From here, I'm going to drop down into my child's pose. You can do this one standing, just leaning back from the chair, maybe grabbing onto the back of the chair. And this next one, just stacking the hips on top of the knees and arching through the spine for that happy puppy melting heart shape. Again, just holding the back of the chair if you're still standing. Good, now this one's our last little bit of work for today. If you're still sitting on your chair, you might stand and arch your back away or press into the wall for that bit of a back bend. Otherwise, if you're laying on your tummy, just finding your Sphinx pose here, pressing firmly through the elbows. To progress, we're lifting right up into that cobra stretch, lengthening through the front of the tummy, all the way up to the head. Just gonna roll up and down through that back extension, lengthening the spine. Lovely, rippling through one vertebrae at a time. Nice, we press back into our child's pose just to reset here. Any final stretches that are calling to you, anything that you need to revisit from that quick stretch session. And then finally, we'll recheck that range of motion like we did at the start. Coming back to where you started, we'll look to the right, look to the left, drop the head down, and looking up. Good, hopefully you remember what that felt like at the start of class and we're feeling a bit looser now. See you in the next one.